Hey everybody, it's Lori Crete here and welcome to the Beauty Biz Show. I'm here today with a special guest, Janeida Griffin. Hi Janeida.
Hey Lori, I'm so happy to see you and finally meet you via this.
Let's tell everybody how we met. I think that it's just a perfect place for us to start. I saw you on Instagram and just reached out to you.
Yes, the power of Instagram. That's why I love social media. And that's why I'm on it all the time.
Most people are scared of it. I love that you just own the fact that you're on it all the time. So I think that what first drew me to your page to spend some time on there was, first of all, your work is phenomenal.
Yay, thank you.
Your skin is gorgeous. Like, you are a perfect billboard for an esthetician. Okay, so let's start there. What's your favorite skincare product right now?
Island Glow by the Brow Girl.
All right, so you have your own product line?
Yes.
What does the product line look like? Tell me a little bit about it.
Ooh, so it's handcrafted here in Sugar Hill, which is where I reside and also where my salon is. And I studied herbs like way before I got into the industry. So I'm an herbalist basically. So I handcrafted a bunch of herbs and oils that actually work for all skin types. And I'm obsessed with my line. And I'm always sold out. So now I just have to really get a good farmer to get my ingredients because I'm always sold out. But it's amazing.
So if you were to talk about the most calming herb for the skin, what would it be?
I think it froze up a little bit.
Okay, if you were to talk about the most calming herb for the skin, what would it be?
Ooh, burdock root. It's amazing for inflammation and sensitivity. And it's an all-around great herb for all skin types: oily, acne, smooth fine lines and wrinkles, dryness. It's amazing.
Okay, so what I want to know, I love to start here with my guest. You are a licensed esthetician.
Mm-hmm.
Do you own your business in Atlanta or just north of Atlanta, Sugar Hill? Yeah.
Absolutely. So I went into business on my own in 2017. I worked for like all the major like companies and resort spas. And my last place was at a waxing studio, a well-known waxing studio in Atlanta. And I just outgrew it. And realistically, and this may be another story, but I was fired from there when I was pregnant because I was taking clients while on maternity leave. And unfortunately, there was a few jealous girls that worked there, and they told on me, which is fine. I wasn't even denying it, but they fired me. So that's what birthed the Brow Girl. That made me like realize, oh my goodness, I can do this on my own. My clients are following me. Why not open my own? And now look at me.
Do you have employees?
Say it again.
Do you have employees?
Yeah, so I have Marcia. She's amazing. She's also in a medical field. So she is going to be doing some amazing medical facials, medical grade facials. And then I just hired another young lady, Diana. She's going to be shadowing me for like a good month, doing my entire training that's exclusive to Brow Girl. So yes, I have two. And then I also have a lash girl coming in. So it's growing profusely. I'm literally going to have to get a bigger space for sure.
And you're doing all of this as we just come out of a major shutdown for estheticians.
Yes.
What did you learn? Like, what was your biggest awareness during the COVID shutdown? Because I think this was a time for growth for so many people. They were scared, they felt stifled, but it was really an opportunity to become bigger and better. Tell me how you used it that way, any awakenings that you had.
Yes, exactly. Realistically, for my business and for me personally, it's been the best few months ever since I opened. Financially, I've made more than I made like since I've opened. So it didn't affect me honestly, but it made me realize I always have to have a plan B, C, D, E. You know, like I always got to have additional plans regardless of anything. But my online courses have done numbers. Like realistically, this was the time for everyone to really learn about themselves and whatever they wanted to do, perfect their craft. But realistically, it helped my business tremendously.
Okay. So this is what I want to talk about. I do believe in divine timing, and I don't, just within like the last probably 2 weeks, you popped up on my feed. And the funny thing is, for several years, I've been getting asked questions all the time. How do I learn to thread? How do I learn to do brow lamination? I didn't even know that's what you taught when I first reached out to you, but I think we were meant to come together today and share your message. So tell me a little, tell me, what is brow lamination? I don't know.
Yes, it's a keratin treatment for the eyebrows, and it helps strengthen the eyebrows. It helps lengthen the actual follicle, and it makes the follicle basically expand to make it look thicker and fuller. So it's for all clients, but particularly for clients with like sparse eyebrows or with little gaps, because it expands that follicle and it makes it look thicker and fuller. It's just like the hair, for the hair. Like if you get a keratin treatment for your hair, literally almost the same thing. Of course, it's formulated for eyebrows, perfectly safe for clients. And I teach other licensed pros how to do it properly, effectively, and provide an aftercare for their clients so they can keep coming back for more.
So this is an online class that you offer?
Yes.
How long have you been doing brow lamination? I don't even know when it hit at like the US or when it came to fruition. Can you tell me a little bit about the history of it and how long you've been doing it?
Yeah, so it's been around for ages, just like with threading. It's been around forever, especially in the Middle Eastern countries. But with brow lamination, it's been around in like the Latino countries forever. Like a lot of my friends and clients who are Latino, they tell me, oh my goodness, this has been around forever. Of course, they call it something else. I'm not sure the proper word, but it's like in Spanish. But they call it something else, but it's been around forever. It's just now getting here in the States, but it's been around forever.
How long have you been doing it?
Ooh, for about 8 months to I would say almost a year, because it hit the US probably like a year and a half, and I got on board probably in that year.
How long have you been teaching it?
Ooh, for about 8 months. So I started a year ago, and then 8 months ago, I was like, let me teach this, because nobody really knows about it. So it was perfect timing.
That's what I was saying. I get asked all the time, and I did never have had a resource to send people to. What would you say, like, what is your biggest type of client that invests in this service? Just for anyone who's curious, going, gosh, I don't know if this is right for my clients or not, but who comes to you for this? Who's been searching for this and finds you and says, oh, I'm so excited that you offer this, as far as like clientele for our spas?
Absolutely. So a lot of my clients travel from past Atlanta. So they travel like over an hour away to me, because I'm north of Atlanta. So I'm not directly in Atlanta, but most of my clients that come to me for the brow lamination, they have been considering permanent makeup, but they don't want to get permanent makeup. So they're like, what's my next best option? And they search and search, and they see brow lamination, and they see me as offering it. A lot of people in Georgia, I would say, are not offering it. So for people who are interested in offering it, now's the time to get started, so you can be the first in your town. Because realistically, I'm like the first out here. So now is the time to get started, because clients are looking for it. They're traveling from out of state to me. So that means there's not other estheticians doing it, you know?
Oh my gosh, this is awesome. So what do you charge for it?
Ooh, so for the actual lamination is $50, and that goes up if they get tint. So that's another add-on. And then also with the shaping. So realistically, it's $100 ticket if they're getting like the whole package deal. That includes the shaping, the lamination, the aftercare, and the tint. So I do it as a package or a la carte.
So how often do you have to do it? Is, like the lash perms last 2 months? Is it kind of the same? It just depends on the oil that your skin secretes, or how does that work?
Every 8 weeks. So I have my clients come in every other month. So 1 month they'll come for their brow lamination, their tint, and then the next month they'll come for their shaping, just the shaping. And then that following month is again that treatment. So my clients come every other month for that.
And you do threading in your business?
Yes.
Okay, so I had a client who, she was so funny. She was married to a famous rock star, and she had actually been in prison and learned how to thread there with her bed sheets. I swear to God, this is a true story. And she would try to teach me, my client, she would try to teach me how to thread. and I couldn't pick it up. I think it's a whole talent within itself that not everybody can do. So seriously, how long did it take you to learn how to do this? Because there's so many different movements with your hands and your face, right? How long did it take you to learn how to be good at it?
Yes, it's definitely an art. So I will say when I learned, it took me about a good 2 months, I would say, to really be able to do it proficiently. So it takes a long time for sure, but it's one of those things is either you have it or you don't. Naturally, naturally I'm coordinated like that. I can't even explain it. So even with my one-on-one courses, when my students come, I can honestly tell if they're going to get it or not just by seeing their coordination. So I have techniques to, like before we start the training, I tell them to do such and such. And if I see that they're not coordinated, then I can tell like, they're going to be really good or not. But it's just one of those things if you have coordination or not.
I love this conversation. So tell me right now, if somebody's listening in and they say, I want to go to Janeida's website and I want to invest in learning how to thread because my clients keep asking about it. Is there one little test they could do at home to see if this would be a smart or wise investment for them? A coordination test? Do you have like a little test that you do at the beginning?
Yes, I do. So remember when we would do this back in the day as children, like pat your head and rub your stomach?
Okay.
So if they can do that and like read a sentence at the same time without like stopping, you know what I mean? Then they're going to be good. But if they're having then they need to revisit.
Oh my God. Okay. This is so funny because you guys, listening into the podcast, I just started doing this also on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube and just put in Lori Crete and the Beauty Biz Show will come up. But this is so funny that I'm actually watching you do this. But if somebody wasn't watching, you said, tap your head and rub your belly at the same time.
While
I
reading.
would think of it. Okay. While reading. Where did you learn to make that a test?
Yes, that's the trick. Realistically, that's how I know. So it's all about coordination.
But how did you ever come up with that test? Did somebody teach you
that?
Because
students come for courses, one-on-one courses, and they was just not getting it. And they would tell me at the end, like, I'm not even a coordinated person. So it made me realize, okay, I need to figure something out to see if they even can do this and read at the same time. So I had to figure it out.
So do you actually have a visual application where you meet with them before you have them come into this course?
Realistically, I do it like right before we start the course. And then it helps me realize what we need to focus on. So if they can't do that, then I have to go over that technique over and over and over again until they can really get it. And then with that being said, I will not let them practice on like a live model if they can't do this. You know what I mean? So it makes me realize, okay, this student is not going to be able to do a live model because they would jack their eyebrows up. But if they can do that, then yes, we can move forward to the next steps.
Okay, so you're saying it's something that you can practice makes perfect then?
Absolutely. You have realistically, you have to practice. Even with brow lamination, like you're not going to master it unless you like keep practicing. That's how you master your niche.
So you said you do brow lamination, you do threading, and what was the third thing that you said that you teach a class in for other professionals, licensed professionals?
Yes, brow henna. So henna brow. Okay. And that is amazing.
Tell me more about that. These are all things I've been so curious about. And I'm just floored at divine timing that I've been looking for somebody to talk about this. And there you were. You just showed up right in front of me. So tell me more about maybe a licensed professional that would benefit from bringing brow henna into their practice.
First and foremost, it's so much better than tinting. Tinting is cool, and I still have clients who get tinting, but it's usually the clients who get tinting, they just want a soft, subtle look. They don't want it to last long. They don't care if it lasts long. But clients who want longevity, henna is the way to go because it stains better on the skin. So with my henna course, I teach tricks because, of course, henna is sort of similar to tint. So people are going to think, oh, I can just do it just like I do tint. But there are some tricks and tips that you need to know in order to get longevity for your clients. Otherwise, the client is not going to come back if it's not lasting long. So that's what I train in and certify in for that because it's so many tricks and tips of how to get the henna to last longer. And it's, oh my goodness, henna is just amazing. It stains, it looks like powder brows. It looks like permanent makeup, but it's not. So it doesn't have that.
So is this something that in the States, or if you're not a licensed cosmetologist and you're not allowed to do the tinting, is henna something that's considered within a scope of practice because it's approved by the FDA or it's not chemical based? Do you know the answer to that?
Realistically, it's different in every state. So I have students that do my online courses from all around the world. So a few students have told me in different countries, like I have one girl in Barbados, she said it's not recognized by their state and anyone can basically do it. And then I have another young lady, and I'm not sure what, she's in the US, but she said it's not recognized as well. And they can do it. Like she contacted the state board and everything, and they're like, you can do it. So it's one of those things. It's tricky in every state. I know here in Georgia, you need to be licensed.
Yeah, the brow henna. I'm just thinking that that may be good for people. I know I can only keep track of what happens in my state, but we're not allowed to do the normal tinting. So I wonder if the henna is actually a workaround, and we're able to do that. So you may have just opened up a whole new service for estheticians in many different states. So this is awesome. Very cool.
So that's what I love about the henna. So, and it's natural. Realistically, it's natural. You just got to know how to use it.
Do you sell it? Like, where do we even get it? Is that part of your program?
But in my training course, I give my recommended vendor, and I also provide like a discount code where students can get it from them. But I don't sell it. I was honestly going to get in that market because I do it all the time and I'm training, but I just can't find that right relationship, I would say.
Okay. So, this is all really, really good information because I know it's been an area for so long that people go, but my clients want it. How do I do it? Tint doesn't last long enough. So very good. Tell me, is there anyone who henna would not be a good option for?
Anyone who's doing chemo or does not have any hair at all, like it's not going to work at all. I've had clients who are under a chemo treatment and it's not recommended for sure because they're going to lose hair. So it defeats the purpose. And then anyone without any hair, like if the client doesn't have hair, it's not going to work. It'll stain the skin, but it will not work at all.
Not very long. And then back to brow lamination, is there a sensitivity to that in certain clients, or is it pretty much chemical free? So it's not going to be crazy on the skin?
I highly recommend that any esthetician that's going to do it, they do like a patch test first, because they definitely want to make sure they're not going to react, because some people do react, unfortunately. But realistically, as long as they have like basically good skin, if they're inflamed or if they have active acne or any type of abrasions around the eyebrow, then yeah, definitely don't do it. Okay, so people are probably dying to hear now. What is your website so they know where to find you? Yes. Oh, so simple. So it's thebrowgirl.com. Super simple. And I just revamped it. I'm super proud. It looks amazing and it's super easy to navigate now. I have to ask you, are you always this happy? Because I love your energy. I am. I promise you, literally everyone asks me that. Even my clients. My clients will say, what are you on? Can you tell me? Oh my God, I've been smiling the whole time you've been talking. And then I just realized your energy is so contagious. Yes, I'm just a happy person. And that's why I always believe your vibe attracts your tribe. That's why I always get happy clients, because I'm so happy. So even if they come in there and they're not happy, they're like, oh my goodness, this girl's freaking happy. I need to be happy too. So what month is your birthday? Say it again. What month is your birthday? I always like to know people's astrological signs. Yes, 1/21. I'm an Aquarius. Oh, okay. No wonder. Every famous person I know or anyone that's on stage is an Aquarius, I swear. Like 90%. Yeah, that's freaking amazing. I want to know, just curious, what was your very first job? Did you work in high school or did you not work until after high school? What was your very first job? Yes, my very first job is my favorite store in the world, TJ Maxx. Oh, so, very cool. Do you all have a TJ Maxx out there? We do, and I drove by yesterday or the day before. Like, I'm in California, so things are just slowly opening, and it was so funny. They opened last week, and there was literally a line of like 50 people to get in there and shop. Yes, and I was in that line, the one here in Georgia. I love that place. So what age did you start working there? Ooh, 16. I was in high school, so I was like a sophomore, I believe, or junior. But yes, in high school. So I got all my high school clothes and everything there. Literally, my check went right back to them.
Yeah, it's tricky that way, isn't it?
I was a trainer. Like I became like a trainer like at 17. So it was just one of those things I love doing. I love like educating others.
It's funny, you just answered my next question, which was going to be, what did you take away from that job that you use now in your beauty business?
Yeah, literally training. Literally, it taught me how to train different people and deal with different personalities. Like it's amazing. I'm a chameleon. Like with whoever I'm dealing with, I just gauge their energy and I kind of be a chameleon.
Well, that makes you a good salesperson too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this because our industry has suddenly shifted overnight where our clients just became forced to invest in online, to invest in online trainings and an online life. And the same with beauty professionals. We have been forced to do a lot of things online. So if there's somebody listening in that wanted to build an online business, you've done this. And it sounded like you did it before COVID hit.
Oh yeah.
Give these people some advice, some hope, some inspiration. What was the first thing you did to build that online business? And maybe then share what your biggest struggle was and how you overcame it.
Yeah, so the first thing I did was build that market base. So I built my client market base on Instagram, honestly, and Facebook, but mainly on Instagram, just showing who I am, like the real me, like no sugarcoating or anything. So I post even when I'm going through things, but I'm still happy, but I post about it, So I let people inside the real me. So I post all the brow stuff and skin stuff, but I post my family and what I'm going through as a real person so they can relate. So you have to build that client base, and realistically, you have to have a story. If you have a story, people can relate to you and they're like, oh, she's a real person. She's not just someone who's just trying to make money online and stuff. So show people you're a real person. Like you have a story to tell. You go through things. You're not always just happy and bubbly, which I am, but still show them the real you. And that's how I honestly built my following and my clientele. Everyone knows my story so they can relate and they're like, oh, she's just like me. I'm really going to buy her skincare or join her class or something because she's like me. So you got to build that client market.
So I want to ask you this: when you came out of the gate and you discovered, oh my gosh, I have to share my story. What was that story when you first came out of the business gate and wanted to start building that market space on Instagram?
So my story, realistically, and it still hurts me to this day, but it's not affecting me. But being fired from that company, because I gave them my all, Lori. Like literally, I gave them my all. Like I honestly was honest with them. Like, yeah, I service clients at home because I needed to make money. With our industry, we don't get paid time off and stuff. So I was honest, and I really loved that company. Like I was down for them. So it kind of hurt me when they called me in on my first day back from maternity leave and said, you're fired. Like I cried and everything. Like it was so humiliating. But that honestly made me who I am today. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity because it made me this person that I am. But realistically, when I first started, I was so like hurt. Honestly, like I was hurt. But
I have a really good question for you. And I don't know, because I didn't give you any questions to begin with. We're just having a conversation, two women who run businesses across the country from each other. What advice would you now as an owner give to one of your employees going out on maternity? Because this is really where you've probably learned, and you could probably help a lot of other women. What advice would you give to somebody going out on maternity that is in the beauty industry that maybe doesn't have the opportunity to gain any disability or income during that time in their life?
Honestly, have a game plan. Even with this pandemic, like I didn't know what I was going to do when they said you have to shut your business down, but I had a game plan, So always have a game plan. So have a backup, have some type of savings, have some type of additional income. Do what you need to do, to fend for yourself and to make sure you can eat. So realistically, have a game plan.
Now, I also want to ask you, because being in California, not able to work since March 11th, am looking for women like you that are back at work for inspiration, maybe any success tips, what it looks like to get back to work, what it feels like, the good parts of it. Inspire us, please. Those of us who are not able to go back to work.
Yeah, realistically, when I went back, oh my goodness, it was so awkward because everyone was like scared. They didn't know. They were like, oh my goodness, should I get my eyebrows or should I risk getting COVID to look pretty? Like, so everyone is just like on edge at the beginning. Now it's super normal. I will say, like, it feels normal. We're happy. Everyone's happy. But in the beginning, oh my goodness, it was the most awkward feeling. So realistically, what I do with my clients, I would just change the subject when they would start talking about COVID and pandemics. I'm like, so just change the subject. Talk about beauty. Talk about how we made it through. Don't focus on the negatives. The negatives is just going to keep on bringing negatives. That's my thing. So you got to focus on the positive.
During the failing economy, I owned a business in Los Angeles, a very saturated market. Everyone was scared to spend money, whether it was like a realistic budget or media-induced budget, right? They were scared to spend money, but that was my thing. My staff was not allowed to talk about the failing economy. My clients, I would always say, let's talk about something that makes you feel good during your time with me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love that advice. And then also, I want to know from somebody who's back at work, did you see a peak? Like everybody wanted to get in and then it slowed down a little bit, or have you maintained a steady flow of clients in? I would love to know how this has all looked for you so far.
So realistically, ever since I opened, I'm always booked and busy. So realistically, I'm always booked, like always. I'm booked out a month or two in advance. But when I came back, it's been an increase. Like, oh my goodness, the requests for appointments are insane. Like, and that's why I had to add additional lady at my brow bar because I can't handle it all by myself. So I had to hire someone. But oh my goodness, the increase is phenomenal. Like, it's phenomenal. People are coming out from the woodworks.
Something I've said over the last few weeks is I truly don't believe that there's ever been a better time for new estheticians coming out of school, because a lot of seasoned, really talented estheticians have suddenly decided to pivot and just do online trainings, or to not go back at all, to go into retirement or find a new job. How did you find your new gal so quickly?
Well, she took all 3 of my training courses actually, and oh my goodness, this is so amazing. I have to tell this story. But she sent me a message probably like a few months ago, and I didn't read it, honestly, because I get so many messages and it's so hard to like read everything. And sometimes people are trying to sell me something or something, so I don't know what's what. But she sent me a message like a few months ago, and she was telling me about her story, how she loves passion, she loves me and my brand, and she loves brows or whatever. And then she took my course probably a month ago, and then she came in as a client to get her brows done. And that's what she told me. I sent you a message a few months ago, and I was telling you I'm so obsessed with your brand and I would love to work here. You never responded. And I was like, oh my goodness. But we instantly clicked when she came in as a client. And then she told me she's taken all my courses and she's like ready to get in the game. So it worked out like it was perfect timing. Perfect timing.
It's all about divine timing. How'd you answer me so quickly when you don't answer messages? Were we just supposed to have this conversation today?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Literally, your message, like, I don't know, I can't even explain. It was like shining or something. Because it made me
love that.
I promise you, I never answer messages. And I have to make a post about that to let people know, like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but it's like over 200. So as well, you know?
Yeah. So on a more beauty biz type level of a share, let's hear some success tips that you have for the beauty practitioners that are stepping back into a new normal and a little bit scared and also very excited. So would you just share some thoughts around that?
Yes, absolutely. So be yourself and market. Like, I'm on Instagram and social media all day marketing. Like, I make sure I post consistently. And then also build your brand. You have to build that brand. So when people see your logo, they know it's you. Or when people see a certain color, they're like, oh my goodness, that's my brow girl or whatever. Build your brand. And then also, I always tell everyone, mind the business that pays you. So that has help with my success, because of course it's kind of oversaturated with like brow artists and brow bars popping up left and right. But realistically, if you just mind the business that pays you, it's clients for everyone. You're gonna attract your clients, you know? But I've always hear people saying there's a brow salon near you, or there's such and such near you. She does the same thing. Aren't you scared? But it doesn't affect me. I'm always booked. I mind my business. I don't know who's near me. So that's the key to success. Mind your business and market.
I love it. I'm writing it down. Mind the business that pays you. And I'll tell you why, because I just heard something during this whole COVID lockdown. I took a training and it was from a famous baseball player. He was a pitcher. And he said, you know when I was going to have a good game? When I couldn't hear the crowd. Mm-hmm. And you know, when I had a bad game, it's when I could hear the crowd. I knew I wasn't focused on where I needed to be focused. Mm-hmm. And then somebody else said, you know, we get into this phase, and this is so in line with what you just shared. I love it. And they said, you know, that saying, the grass is always greener. Mm-hmm. That's only if you don't have a good landscaper. Yeah. Guess who the landscaper of your business is? You, right? So pay attention to the landscaper, and the grass won't be greener on the other side.
Exactly. That's a good one. I love that one.
Yeah, I mean, the grass is only greener when your landscaper's not doing a good job, and you are the landscaper. So you're right. Mind the business that pays you. I love that.
Mm-hmm. And it's true. Like, realistically, it's so true.
I want
also, Lori, my thing is, like, if you're not busy and booked, you're going to probably mind someone else's business. But if you're busy and booked, you have no time to mind someone's business or worry about what the next person is doing. Like, so many people are so worried about what someone else is doing when they have to look at their own.
Right. Well, I want you to share anything else you want to share, and then we can wrap up our chat today, because I know you're a busy gal. You got family, you got a business, and new employees to tend to. So is there anything else you wanted to chat about?
Yes. Be kind to everyone, of course, but remember, everyone, that she is not your competition. She is your sister. So in the beauty industry as a whole, that's what I want us to really work on. Of course, everything is going on, but try not to focus on the negatives, focus on the positive, and just remember, she is your sister, not your competition. That is also another key to success as well. So just remember, you guys, like, try to, if anything, collab rather than compete. And that's what I try to work on, even with the girls that are like in the surrounding area around me. I let them know, like, I would love to refer people out if we're booked here at my salon. But if there's some jealous and envy going on, of course, I'm not going to refer. But just remember, she's your sister, not your competition. That is the key.
I love that. And I really want to wrap it up, because it was very touching to me and my heart when you said, please don't be mad at me. Please don't be mad at me, for sharing your honest opinion. And that was brave of you to do. Yeah. And I know you come from a place of kindness and wanting to help others. And I want everybody listening in right now to take note of that, because this is what we need to heal, and we need to move forward together. We need to be allowed our opinions, as long as they're coming from a place of love and kindness. Right. And exactly. It makes me sad a little bit that you have to preface your feelings by saying, please don't be mad at me. Please don't be mad at me. So exactly. I honor your opinion, and I learn from people that are brave enough to share it.
Thank you. And people have to understand, everyone has different viewpoints of things, and it's totally fine. Nobody's right or wrong. I've gotten in so many arguments on Instagram over that I had to, like, block my comments for a while, because people were getting upset of what I post or how I feel. But it's my feelings, you guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to hurt anyone at all.
Yeah, you're like, I just want to show my beautiful brow work.
Yes, literally.
Oh my God, Janeida, you are a joy. And I thank you so much for being here. I feel so excited that I just reached out to you and this all worked out so smoothly. Thank you for sharing 3 areas where I've been looking for somebody to send business to, because I get asked all the time, hey, does anyone know about actually the 3 things you mentioned? So if we could all be open to calling the right people into our lives to help us grow, that would be an amazing success tip that I'd like to share as we wrap up this episode of the Beauty Biz Show.
Exactly. I love that. Thank you, Lori. This was like freaking awesome. You're the coolest ever. I'm going to send you a beauty box of mine, okay? So I'll get your address later, okay?
Well, I'm excited about that. So thank you very much. Why don't you share your URL one more time so people who want to find you for your training can reach out to you?
First of all, thebrowgirl.com. Thebrowgirl.com.
You made it super easy. So thanks so much for being here today. I appreciate you, and I hope this brings you lots of abundance.
Yes, thank you, Lori. I really appreciate you. Have a great day, okay?
You too. Don't hang up yet. I'm going to end the recording, but then we're going to chat for a sec.
Okay, no problem.